Alright.
Alright.
Gotta say your name, motherfucker.
Roger.
Roger.
RSD Ben, bitch.
Bitch, you ain't an RSD. Shut the fuck up. What up? This is your boy Anderson Wang, and I'm here gonna be showing you this fucking videos about pickup content that I did with my boy Ben Rositas. He's also into pickup. He's been in the pickup, his whole pickup lifestyle, and going out 7 nights a week for like probably a year and a half straight now. And then I've been going out with him pretty often because he used to be like the best wing that I ever had, you know, back in the day. I have this one wing before when I started and everything, and then, you know, we all have different paths and moved to LA, and then I'm just here staying OC and, you know, just grinding hard and everything every single day, whether it's text game, going out, night game, social circle game, and all that different good stuff. So what I'm about to show you is about the approach anxiety where everyone has, and I still do, but I just embrace it differently because, you know, everyone has approach anxiety, whether it's with the girls, whether it's with the jobs we're getting, the interviews. You know, you're like, oh my god, I'm about to approach this guy, and I'm gonna ask him for a resume, and then what if I fucked up? I'm gonna have a bad impression, yada yada yada. So in this this clip here that I'm about to show you guys is about how to overcome it. And sometimes if you have like a difficulty to overcome your approach anxieties, just simply embrace it. You know, just tell yourself it's okay, I did what I can do, you know, I put in all the efforts that I can, and yeah. So let's get cracked into this video. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, don't be a little bitch. No. Okay, so approach anxiety.
Don't be a little bitch.
Okay.
That's it. That's macro.
Yeah, don't be fucking bitch. Pin pose. Yeah, no, okay. So approach anxiety, if you want to look at it from like an evolutionary psychology type of perspective, you know, back in the day we lived in small tribes, and if you were to approach a girl and it didn't go well, you run the risk of that girl telling everyone else in the tribe, and then you would never get fucking laid. So, and also, you know, say she had a boyfriend, he could come smash a fucking club into your head and kill you. So that's why a lot of dudes have like a deeply ingrained like approach anxiety. It goes back to the idea in evolutionary psychology. So, you know, I mean, a lot of it really, there's no like secret. It's just kind of, you gotta fucking put yourself out there. You gotta do those approaches, and after a while you kind of realize like, hey, nothing bad happens. And then you get to the point, ideally the idea is to get to the point where you're no longer feeling weird about approaching, but you almost feel weird if you don't approach, you know? The way I like to look at it, way I was looking at it, sorry.
Now he's approaching. It's funny, huh? The way that I view approach anxiety is like fucking, wait, who's married? So anyway, the way I view approach anxiety is like, you know, a lot of guys will just ration their side of their head, just be like, oh shit, here we go again, approach, and they made it seem like it's some kind of hard work when they approach, you know. But it's like, it's not something natural to do. It's just like I have to kind of force myself to approach when it comes to like this whole approach anxiety shit. It's like, because even you see a lot of pickup artists, they do it, it looks like they don't have any, but they do, but they just don't care. They're just like, oh shit, there goes the, you know, intense fucking approach anxiety. But it's like, it's kind of like these fucking people like riding this roller coaster and playing extreme sports. They do have anxiety, but they do it, you know. They basically let the anxiety guide themselves to like get better, not bitter.
Let me say something.
I was trying to say, and you know, like, oh, what if this happened? What if this happened? Well, then let it happen, you know, because it's like anything for the reference experience. Because if you never experience that kind of stuff, like when you approach, it's always just gonna be in your head, and then when you approach, you realize, oh, it's not that, you know, in my head, you know, it's me, like other people, like in my head, just trying to rationalize, oh, what is going to happen, you know. Some people, like the entire like folks at the beach is gonna be like, ha, loser, boo, you know. But like if that actually happened, fuck, that actually would be a great story if you really think that happened, huh? If like that actually happened, like thousands of people pointing your finger, like Julian Blanc scandal. But you know, it's not everyone like Julian who's fucking choking hoes in Japan and say it's okay to manipulate. Well, I mean, of course it's a joke, but you take it to.
Of course, it's okay to manipulate.
That's the mainstream media tell you. You know, choking is not flirting. You know what I'm saying? Remember that sign? But
Dude, a lot of girls love being choked, actually.
yeah, but that's when they're in bed. It's not something that you do it right off the bat. Well, I mean, you could.
I do. I'm just kidding.
I don't.
And now watch, I'm gonna have the fucking Ben scandal.
The rape fan pickup artist. But yeah, it's interesting because I still have like shit ton of anxiety, stuff like that. But sometimes I do it. It just after it doesn't necessarily make me feel better. It just makes me realize what exactly happened. You know, it's like, oh, this is what happened. Well, that reduced the anxiety, but they're still approaching anxieties. You know what I mean?
I'll be totally honest. Like, say if I haven't been out, like if I haven't actually been out in a week or something, like if I'm really lacking in momentum, the first day or two that I go back out, I might feel a little bit of approach anxiety in the beginning. But honestly, like, when people say you always have approach anxiety, it never goes away, you just deal with it, I think that's kind of bullshit. I really don't have much approach anxiety anymore. And like when I see a hot no, I really don't, dude. Like,
yeah, you do.
No, dude, like, bro, don't be butthurt. It's okay, don't be bitter.
You do, but like you just don't give a shit.
No, I literally don't. And here's the thing. Like, when I see a hot girl, I'm excited to go talk to her. I'm not anxious. I'm really not. And
okay, what if it's a hot girl and like with 20 guys said?
If there's like a
one hot girl and Julian and Leonardo DiCaprio was next to her, and then freaking The Rock and like
dude, I'll be honest, in a scenario like that, if it's a bunch of celebrities, I'd be even more excited to do it. I'd actually feel weirder about doing it if it was just like a bunch of random dudes I didn't know. But if I actually saw hot girls,
yeah, you still feel weird. You still feel.
Dude, look, here's my point, dog. Once you get to a certain point, approach anxiety, you really don't get it that much anymore. Like, you could give me some fucking ridiculous example like that, but the fact is, like, average, like, day-to-day, like, the majority of sets, I really don't have approach anxiety anymore. And I think, you know, when a lot of instructors say, like, I still get approach anxiety, I think what they mean is, like, if I haven't been out in like a fucking week, I'll get a little approach anxiety. Or if I'm going up to a girl in a group of 20 dudes, I have a little approach anxiety. But generally speaking, you reach a point where you don't really have it that much anymore.
When you're constantly going out, you kind of just like bury that. Why? Not really bury it, but you just kind of cope with it.
Here's something I want to say, dude.
You don't really feel that, like, oh, it's
Look,
there.
dude, the thing where approach anxiety stems from is there's that idea in evolutionary psychology that I just spoke about, but then also, you know, on another level, it stems from dudes are afraid of the reaction of the girl. Why are they afraid of the girl's reaction? Because they want a certain reaction out of her, you know? If the girl tells them to fuck off, they're gonna feel like shit. If somebody points and laughs, they're gonna feel like shit. They play these mental movies in their fucking head about, if I go approach, like, what if this or that happens? So there's a couple different angles we could come at this. You know, when we look at most guys, their thought process and what leads to this approach anxiety, there's a couple things going on here. One, they're not present to the moment. If you're present to the moment, all these thoughts of what if and these mental movies that you play of the fucking terrible scenario that you think's gonna happen, if you're present to the moment, your thoughts aren't gonna sweep you away like that. On top of that as well, if you have truly internalized, realized, and come to understand that you are enough, and you don't need anything from anyone else, approach anxiety is going to go away tremendously as well, okay? Something else I want to talk about, I was thinking about this yesterday, it's the idea of congruence, okay? And of having standards and values for yourself and for the women you allow into your life. So, a personal standard for me is, if I see a girl and I think she's hot, I fucking approach. Now, I think everyone should view it this way. It doesn't matter how scared you are. It doesn't matter what the fuck your excuse is. If you see a hot girl, you fucking go up and talk to her. Why? Because you have a standard for who you are as a man, and you are congruent with that. Congruence means an alignment in your thoughts, words, and actions. So if I see a hot girl, if you see a hot girl and you think she's hot, you should fucking approach her for the sake of congruence. But going along that same line of being congruent, what does that mean? That means that when you go up to the girl, you don't have to put on an act. If you're fucking terrified and you're forcing yourself to do it, but you feel terrified, that's okay. Let the girl know you're fucking terrified. It doesn't matter. Be congruent. Honestly express yourself, okay? honestly express yourself.
Wait, let me see. That's what you. It's interesting because you said. What did you say? Fuck. Be present to the moment.
Totally rambling here. Half this shit probably doesn't even make sense.
Be present to the moment. Like, you remember Evil Stifler was like, "What's that shit you always said? Oh, present, present." We're like, what? Oh, you mean be present? Yeah, man. Do that. And act like a black guy. But anyways, what do you mean by be present? Because like everyone's like, oh, I'm present now. I gotta
Most
get to that
dudes who
state.
think they're present are present. Look, presence. Are you asking me what presence is?
Yeah, like your opinion on present.
Okay. Well, it's not my opinion. Here's what presence is.
It's still your opinion.
No, it's not my opinion. Presence is what it is. It's not subjective. Presence is a thing, and it is what it is. So, there's subjective and things, and there's objective reality. So here's the deal with presence. Presence is very simply being in a state of being in a state of being consciously aware of the present moment and not being taken away by thought. Here's the thing. If you are in a state of conscious awareness and you're in the present, what does that mean? That means you're not thinking. That means you're not being taken away by thought. When you're not present, that means you're being run by your fucking brain, okay? So when you look at a girl and you have these thoughts on autopilot that you can't seem to stop, like, oh fuck, what if she rejects me? What if everyone laughs? This is your brain. This is like, look, your brain is like a tool, and think of like a computer program that like goes haywire. That's your brain when you're taken away by all these thoughts of what if, and these mental movies are running. If you can step back from that, be the observer, and not.
If you have to like step by step break it down how to overcome approach anxiety, what would you say?
I'd have to give it more thought, dude. To give like a totally detailed, like exact answer, like I'm not. I'd have to think that over a little bit.
Not like an exact answer, because it's like giving people fish. Like teach them how to get fish.
Here's the thing. A little bit more about presence. Most people operate in a state where their default mode is being controlled by their thoughts and by their mind. Every now and then, under certain circumstances, they may get a glimpse of present moment awareness, but it doesn't last long, and they usually can't even recognize it, if they ever even get one. The ideal is to live with your default state being conscious present moment awareness, okay? When you need to think, when you need to use your brain, you can use it when you need to. It's there for you to use it, but you know how to turn it on and off. You're not at the mercy of your mind, okay? Being present to the moment, some easy ways to enter that state of being are, Eckhart Tolle talks about this in The Power of Now. Look, I could never explain this as well as Eckhart Tolle. This book, The Power of Now,
Eckhart Tolle or Eckhart Tolle?
It's Eckhart Tolle. This book has obviously been talked about over and over again, but a lot of people, even who actually read it, don't really fully take the time to really digest the fucking material and to actually put this shit into action in their fucking lives. And it's hugely fucking important, okay? But some kind of what Eckhart talks about, he calls them like portals into presence, would be like shifting your focus, shifting your awareness on the space around you, okay? So right now there's this fucking bench, and there's the space in between me and the bench. There's the floor, there's the space in between it, okay? The world is made up of objects. The world is made up of empty space and objects in it, all right? Focus on the empty space. Focus on the silence and the sounds that arise from it around you, all right? Focus on your inner body. Go into your fucking body. Go out of your head, all right? And again, this shit to a lot of people is gonna sound like very like woo-woo. It's not really gonna make sense, and I'm really not explaining it very well. But you asked me about presence, so I'd give it my best shot. But read The fucking Power of Now. Meditate. Work on presence throughout your day-to-day life. Look, when you're brushing your fucking teeth, when you're walking up the stairs, when you're doing the fucking dishes, when you're doing your fucking laundry, instead of check in with yourself, take a moment to notice while you're doing like little mundane tasks, am I being carried away by thought right now? Am I thinking unnecessary shit? And try to just be present and try to bring yourself into a state of presence, just doing these little mundane things throughout your day to day. And if you do this and you continually work on this and you meditate every day, after a while, it's going to slowly become more your default state, okay? And this will help with approach anxiety, because a lot of approach anxiety stems from being swept away in negative thought loops, okay? What if this happens? What if that happens? You're caught up in thought. Fuck that. Be present to the fucking moment. And when you're really present to the moment, the fucking energy of the fucking universe will flow through you. As crazy as that sounds.
It's like a flow state, basically. It's like a flow state where you just like, oh shit, there's no more blockage inside of you. You know, it's like you have that egocentric trip where you're just like, yeah, man, this will happen, and then once you're in state, you're like, fuck. Okay, nothing stops me now. You know what I mean? Just like, whoosh, it's like a fucking, it's like a power level, like energy level, like fucking Dragon Ball Z. Just like boom, and inside of fucking, it's like lights up right away. You know what I'm saying? Like it just like that. Yeah. And then that's when you're in state, and then when you game, it's just total control, like freedom of outcome. You know, because like one of the reasons that people get approach anxiety is they're trying to get something out of the girl. They just, it's not really like, oh, I'm just here to talk. You know, they like 95% of the time people just like, you know, they're trying to take, either they're trying to get the approval or they're trying to fuck them. So once they have that subconscious, you know, they have that trying to give something, it's gonna be a level of neediness will pop out. That's why there is anxiety. It's like it's like when you go up to the homeless dude, or just when you go out to random people and give them $10, that's fucking easy. Don't fuck up. But if you ask them for $10 you're trying to take, they're like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, why should I give you the $10? It's like the same concept when you walk up to chick. If you're trying to take, if you subconsciously trying to fuck, why the fuck would I, like, you know, why the fuck should I fuck you? And you know, of course, the offering value is a good part, but, you know, we'll talk about that later, you know, how to offer value, shit like that. But, like, if you, without offering value, like, you're trying to take, you know, it's like, you know, asking for someone for $10, like, bitches are gonna be like, fuck you, who are you? Why the fuck should I give you the $10? Like, you're not, like, you're not worth it, like, you know what I mean? So, that's what I'm saying, like, 90% of the time, the guys just, they trying to get their approval, validation, or they're trying to fuck. That's it. That's why subconsciously there's always that taking
I'm always
vibe.
trying to fuck.
Yeah, this scumbag. That's why he's taking value last time, and he didn't get jack shit because he think I'm the top of the motherfucker shit. And I'm like, there is something off, but I can't really describe it because he's doing the concept right. The doing part is right, but just the place it's coming from is kind of different. You know, so that's why
I share my thoughts on taking value. So the subject.
Last time we shot the video.
The subject of taking. Well, dude, that was like several weeks ago. Yeah, that was a very off day for me. That was a very fucking off day. I was very taking value that day. Here's the thing. Very simply, what is because people talk about taking value, offering value. Very simply, here's what it is. If you go up to the girl and you say or do something, and in doing it, you are doing it to get a reaction out of her. In your mind, in your body, when you do it, if you're thinking or feeling like, I hope she reacts a certain way, and if she doesn't react that way, I'm gonna feel bad. But if she does, I'll feel good. So I really hope she fucking reacts this way. That's taking value. That's neediness. Usually what guys are trying to get is validation or approval. That's really what it is. And what does that?
Talk to girls now. I get the validation.
And what does that stem from? That stems from not feeling like you are enough. If you really understand, I'm enough, then when you go up to the girl, you're not going to need anything from her. You're already enough. You don't need to fucking take anything. And really, what taking value means is just, it means kind of like being needy is basically just what it means. I feel like terms like value are used like in a lot of different contexts within game, and it can confuse guys sometimes. Like, what the fuck does value even mean? But basically, you know, dude, nobody wants to be around somebody who's like sapping energy. You know, nobody wants to
sappy energy.
Like trying to, you know, that old analogy of you bring the party or you're trying to get in the girl's party. Nobody wants to be around that kind of fucking energy.
Ben, weasel your way into the party.
But
you're like, shit, that's me.
But the thing is that you know, a lot of times when you tell guys, you know, focus on giving value, focusing on offering value, it's like, I feel like that's kind of like telling a guy, like, I feel like that's kind of like when people give that mainstream advice of, well, just be cool, man. It's like, well, I don't know how to fucking be cool, dude. I don't know how to fucking be cool. You tell, a lot of times I feel like you tell guys, offer value, give value. They're like, well, how the fuck do I do that? You know, I feel like a fucking loser. How am I supposed to offer value? You know, Julian talks about in 10 Game that you could offer value. He says at the bare minimum, you could offer value by being real. And what was the other one? Real and good emotions. Realness and good emotions. Now that's true. You can offer value. Just realness and good emotions on their own are value. You know, so if you can, you know, being congruent, even if you feel like shit, if you're congruent, then you're offering realness, and that's something. But here's the thing. I feel like the best way.
Like Julian says, confidence is full self-acceptance. If you guys know what that means. Like,
confidence is full self-acceptance. It's understanding that you are enough and being congruent to yourself, not feeling a need to fake who you are, just honest expression.
Not like trying to get to that level of, I need to get there to be cool. It's like, realize you're already cool. Like, what the fuck? This is...
You are enough. You're enough. You're enough how you fucking are, okay? I like to view the idea of you are enough is like the sun. And all the other inner game concepts and frames and ideas are like the planets that revolve around it, okay? So without a full understanding and real knowing that I am enough, you gotta have that, you know? That kind of helps everything else to work. So basically, I like to, when it comes to like the idea of offering value, I like to think that the best way to go about it is not to just say, well, think about offering value.
Oi.
I think that by having, by knowing that you are enough, by being congruent, by being self-amused, by understanding what women like, understanding what you like, these are all ways that, you know, you do these other things and you'll end up offering value. I'm really losing my fucking train of thought right now. Here, talk while I remember what the fuck I was talking about.
Realness. Yeah, it's basically just like, you know, we're gonna overcome, like, shit. Randy! Overcome...
No, just leave him be. Just leave him. He doesn't want to get...
Overcome... Oh, fuck. Overcome approach anxiety. There's no other way, bitches. Just do it. And you know, you can be a fucking chode. Doesn't matter, dude. Like, we're all chodes in a way. Like, Ben is a chode sometimes when he's high off weed. Hey man, yeah, I think you're like some rich girl's family, some shit. Yeah, man, are you spoiled? Like what the fuck, right? But you can say the same thing by not being a chode, you know, like all these offering value, you know, being state shit like that. But like,
a lot of this has to do with your nonverbals. It's in your vocal tonality. It's in your eye contact. It's in your, you know, in your facial expressions. All this kind of shit. You know, a girl can. Yeah. That's really that when somebody.
When you're faded, your voice is like this, and you can be like, oh shit, you're like a rich girl's family, huh? Like, you're like, no, qualified, but if you're like, I feel like you're from a rich girl's family.
Yeah.
That's what he said last time. And the girl's like, no, like subconsciously she's like, who the fuck are you? She's like, no, I'm actually from Thailand, you know, da 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 da. So there you have it. You have the approach anxiety videos that we break it down briefly, and then if you want to learn more about this, please leave a comment below and let me know, like, let us know what kind of situation you're in, you know, what kind of difficulties you're having at the moment, because, you know, I've been through a lot of different kinds of situations where I have approach anxiety, where, you know, if the person's sitting with their friends and families, or a group of, and, you know, or they're like this one particular girl and she's extremely hot, you want to approach her, but she's with like 5 other dudes, you know, surrounded by her, maybe friends, and one of them might be her boyfriend, or even sometimes if you see a girl on like a coffee date with some guy, you know, at the Starbucks restaurant, you know, and you want to approach her because she's the only hot girl there. I mean, of course, I don't think she's gonna be the only hot girl, but at the moment, you see as her, she's the only hot girl over there. So, leave a comment below and let us know, like, what kind of approach anxiety, what kind of situation you're having right there, and then I'm gonna be breaking down to you how to do it. And then, of course, it all follows down to a very basic foundations. You know, if you kind of follow that kind of concept about the foundations of what kind of guidelines you need before you approach, is because you have that fear inside of you. You have that fear where you think, oh, if I fucked up, it's gonna hurt my ego, it's gonna make my day feel like shit. You know, some guys are thinking about it for like, you know, I know guys, clients, you know, being hurting by just one particular girl because she told him to fuck off. He was been hurt for like a month and a half. He just keep thinking about the girl, so he wouldn't go. I was like, yeah man, that girl rejected me, I don't want to feel like that anymore, you know, like rarely we have that kind of case, but like, you know, often we just have people just feel like shit at the moment. It's like, oh my god, you know, it doesn't really feel that good, so they want to but I'll definitely want to try it again, yeah, later on, do it again, you know, like one more approaches before I go, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool that I can see a lot of people getting growth, and a lot of people from the inner circle that, you know, what we do, and it's amazing that some people overcome their fears and everything. So if you have anything that, you know, I can help you with, you know, just leave a comment below. And, you know, if you like the debrief that we give, just please subscribe, you know, subscribe to this channel. So I'm probably gonna be start making videos weekly, uploading every Saturday afternoon and stuff like that, or even evening. Just stay tuned. I'll probably post it on my Snapchat and everything, like the dates and releasing the videos and all that. And thumbs up if you like this, if you enjoyed this video so far, and share it to your friends where they also have approach anxiety, whether it's with girls, with their jobs, resume, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, or even family. Sometimes you have a hard time asking your families a question because if I approach them, I fuck it up, if I do this, yada yada yada, it's gonna make me look bad, it's gonna make me look stupid, and alter your ego just like that. So yeah, and then always remember, let fear become your personal guidance to freedom, because that's the key before you're about to approach someone and you have that fear. It's like, oh my god, I have this irrational fear of approaching a girl on the street when she's all standing alone doing nothing except Snapchatting her face while making a duck face. So yeah, let me know. Please check my previous video if you want to, and until next time.